Welcome to the Databits Studios, where today we have the Kodak Ektasound MovieDeck. It's model 275. And what you're looking at is a piece of American technology. This projector was made in the United States, completely USA made, and it is power-packed with features. It is a Super 8, Regular 8, and Super 8 sound projector. It also has the ability to record on your film. So if you made a home movie and you'd like to change the soundtrack, it has that capability as well. Let's get into some of the features of this amazing movie deck. And I think the thing you're going to notice first off is that it doesn't sit like a normal projector does. It's totally different design. Whereas most projectors have the film mounted on two arms and they're kind of extended in the air, this one's completely flat. So right here, you'll see that there's a playback and record option right here. So this lever, when pushed that way, allows you to record on the soundtrack of the film. Now, if there's no soundtrack in the first place, then obviously you can't put a soundtrack on a silent Super 8 movie. We have two speeds here, 24 and 18 frames per second. And the nice thing about this is that it is variable. So you can really use that to help you record your films off onto video. As far as your functions go, you have a still setting right there, kind of like a pause control. You have the run thread setting, and then you have rewind, and then this button right here, you press to stop whenever you're rewinding or fast forwarding. Now the cool thing is you don't even have to unthread your film to rewind or fast forward it. It gives you complete control over the movie that you're watching. So if it's boring, you can fast forward it. If you're finished, you can hit rewind, and there's no need to unthread the film. Over here on the left, you have your Super 8 and your Regular 8 selector. You have the little slot here where your film is loaded, and there is a focus control right here. Another nifty feature of this projector is the fact that it has a built-in screen. So you can watch your movies either on the wall or you can watch them with this built-in screen that just simply pops out of the side right there. By removing this panel right here, it gives you access to the bulb, which is right there. It also has some instructions on how to project, how to auto rewind, how to record, etc. And of course, it wouldn't be a 1970s piece of history if it didn't have some wood grain on the side. And of course, there's your wood grain, which goes with all the other forest things in your house, like your TV and whatever. We got a carrying handle right here on the front. We have the place here, the little window for the lens. Turn it around on this side. We've got some little holes in there because there's a speaker behind this panel. This panel also pulls down to reveal that speaker, but then you also have a place to store the power cord, which is pretty handy. It's all kind of compact and all in one. I'm going to turn it around this way. What you'll see spinning on the bottom of your screen there, this is the take-up reel, and it is removable, but for the most part, this take-up reel is pretty well stationary. And looky there, I got a free piece of film. That was a pretty good deal. We have some jacks here. I'll go ahead and turn the power off. We have speaker here, and then we have, looks like an RCA plug, sort of like an RCA plug right there. Probably an auxiliary input, and maybe a microphone input right there. It actually isn't labeled, so I would assume that that's what that is. That is definitely speaker because it says it right there. Again, access to your take-up reel is right there. If you turn it upside down, look at the bottom of it. Underneath, there's a little turn screw right here that allows you to turn this and then remove the reel. So if you have a big jam of some sort and you need to take it apart and kind of get your film out, you can do it there. This particular knob here allows you to raise and lower your lens view from the front. That's pretty handy as well. And you have an extra plug here so you can plug in a lamp or maybe a little light to help you see your film as perhaps you're editing it. Since this machine accommodates both Super 8 and Regular 8 size reels, which have different size cores to them, you will need to use this handy dandy little spindle setting. So for Regular 8 films, which have a smaller spindle, this part stays in. If you'd like to use Super 8, you simply pull this back and it pops up and is now thicker for the larger size hole. So that is the spindle itself. It tells you that you're going to place your reel with the, it says it right here, place the reel with the film perforations up. All right, so let's go ahead and put our film reel on. Just sits on top, no need to clip it or clamp it in place. And then we're going to go around this guide right here, like this. And then the film kind of flips upside down so that the perforation or holes are there on the left. And you'll see a little diagram here to indicate that that's the correct way to do it. So we're going to go ahead and put it into the run thread mode here. And I'm going to start it out at 18 frames per second, even though my film has sound and runs at 24. So I'm going to go ahead and poke the film down in the little hole here until it takes it on.
Programming of repetitive instructions contains 2 loops.
There it comes. Now my film's a little bit stiff, so unfortunately it doesn't go into there properly. There it went. Okay, that's really not graceful as far as the way it's connecting in there, but okay, I digress. So now if I hit the play button again,
1 loop operates at a time.
Sometimes programs use a loop within a loop. This is called a nested loop.
so what's going to happen is my film is going to have a little fold in it, or a bend in it, from where it latched onto that reel down there, which isn't real cool. Okay, now let's watch our film on the built-in screen. So I'm going to pull the screen out here, and you'll see behind it is a mirror. That mirror reflects the image that's coming from the lens in the front. Now you'll notice there's a black bar up at the top. I can fix that by hitting the frame control over here, and now my film is perfectly shown on the screen. I'll go ahead and put it back into run thread mode.
To park. Getting on a merry-go-round for a while.
I've shown this film before on my channel. It's my little sample film. So you can see it all operating at this point.
And so forth. Many programs use such loops which contain other loops.
So if you have one of these, you may run into this problem too, which is that the film is rejected by the machine. As soon as you thread it in there, it turns around and kicks it back out. So let me show you the part that I did. So this right here is a paper clip, and it's around this screw, and the screw is tightened in. But on the bottom of the paper clip, which I formed myself with a pair of pliers, there's a little hook, and what it's hooked on, or hooked under, is this white piece that you see right here. So let me show you what that white piece does. When I put it into thread mode, it pops down. Okay, so the issue that I was having is that the film would hit this white piece and immediately tell the machine to rewind the film. It would never make it past the thread. Now the audio head is somewhere in here. In fact, I think that's what this little coil has to do with. But the film comes down through here, and it wraps into the system and goes down around here. You see that white wheel there. Goes around that white wheel and then brings it back down into the bottom through this little canal that you see here. So the film goes through there, and then it goes into the reel, which you see right there above where I'm pointing. Okay. So in order to fix the problem, I had to keep that white piece from going as far down as it was going before. And that little paper clip was just enough to keep it from extending downward and hurting itself. So if you have one of these and you're having that problem, all you need is a paper clip, a pair of pliers, maybe some cutters to cut the paper clip and trim it down. And again, it's going to wrap around the screw, go underneath here, and then there's a flat piece on the bottom. I don't know if I can show it to you or not. Maybe if I move that out of the way. But yeah, you can see it now. So you can see how the paper clip comes down around the side and then is flattened out under the bottom. So it's just like a little hook. It's hooking around that white piece and keeping it from going downward. So let's kind of see what it looks like to thread the film through all of this craziness. And you'll see it appear there. So see, you'll notice that the paperclip did not allow that white piece to go down very far. In fact, that white piece is resting right on the paperclip at this point.
Only one loop operates at a time.
And then we got Smokey Bear in the background there.
Sometimes programs
Use a loop within a loop. This is called a nested loop. The inner loop can be repeated many times for each execution of the outer loop. This is like taking a run around a park.
Okay, so now a quick demo of it playing on the wall. So to play it on the wall, I'm going to set up my projection screen, which I've done so over here. And I'm going to go ahead and place it into the run thread mode. Now, if I put it in still, I can look over at the screen and there is a perfect still of my film. Isn't that cool? All right, so then switch it back
The
into
shortcut
play.
back to our compare instruction. I is now 2. So I plus 1 is 3. Compare. This number is greater than this number.
we follow the yes leg
To a swap instruction, which reverses the positions of the numbers at I and I plus 1. We count again.
Well, guys, this is going to conclude this video about this movie deck, the Kodak MovieDeck, which is actually behind me here on the floor playing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll share it with like 3,000 of your greatest friends. Also, leave a comment below and click that like button. And over here is a couple of videos that you might like to see as well from the databits channel. And I hope to see you next time for more great retro tech and new tech and all kinds of tech. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.